This week we are doing stovetop meals, stovetop dinners. I have got my onion sauteing. We are going to make today shawarma chicken, and it became a real favorite of ours. A few years ago, my friend Gila, this is a shout out to you, Gila Saban, who made this for us, and we loved it. And it's so easy and so delicious and healthy. And so I have decided to share that recipe with you today. I have cut up my husband cut up 2 large onions. He's been a real big help. And we've cut them up into cubes here. I could show you. And they're like, chunks. And it's sauteing in olive oil. I let the oil get hot first. And it's going to saute for a bit. And we're going to add some kosher salt. Okay, I like kosher salt as a flavor, but it needs very little because the chicken is already salted. So, obviously because of kosher. So the kosher salt, the chicken already has salt. So we're just going to use a little bit of kosher salt add in here. And it just bring, our onion peel. Okay, we don't want that. And we're going to just saute this until it's nice and, a little bit golden. I'm going to add a drop more olive oil here. And that's going to keep going, okay? So we've got that going on. I'm also going to add in now the black pepper because it's good to saute with that. And look at that flavor. That's just beautiful. And in the meantime, I've got my chicken already cubed. So you can use chicken breast. You can use pargi oat if you want. You want boneless. Chicken breast is obviously less fat. And pargi oat, if you use that to cut up, it would probably need to cook a little bit longer because dark meat takes longer to cook than white meat chicken. I'm also going to be making next to it, and we have pitot, and we'll make Israeli salad and trina, and then we'll all be able to put this together as a delicious dinner. I'm also making what we call in this house baby french fries, but they're not french fries because they're kind of sauteed in like a little bit of oil. I cut the potatoes really, really small, and then in just this saute pan with a little bit of olive oil and just some salt and pepper, no other spices, and I just let it cook on the stove, and I'm going to be doing that as well. I'm going to get this started so it's going at the same time. And it's really easy, and the two of them just can go, because the potatoes, and I use sweet potatoes and regular, are cut really small, then, you can put it in the pita. So it's, that real Israeli, Shwarma experience. All right, so I'm going to start the potatoes. I think I might have to just cut a little bit more. And it's really very easy, because you just slice the potato in half, and then you do a few slices, and then just a lot of little cuts, and then you have like really small pieces. And then this way it gets done quickly, and it's delicious on your stovetop. Okay, so as this is going, I'm going to get the potatoes. Here we go. And as you can see, most of it's already cut. I have a few pieces that I just need to finish up here. I'm going to just put this down here for a second. Here is the chicken already cubed. And you can watch and see you can watch and look at my onions while we're going here. And I'm just gonna do a little bit more on the potato. So you just make a few slices on a half a potato, and then you just cut like this, and then you have a lot of little cubes. So that's all ready. And then this is, as soon as that's hot, we're gonna add that in there as well. And you can see everything that's going on here in our kitchen. So I have some exciting announcement. First of all, my website, please God, in the next day or two, a couple days, so keep on the lookout for inthekitchenwithhenny.com. We'll be live and we'll be available, and we'll show you everything that we are offering. And just so you know, this is my first announcement that we are starting our premier 3-week kitchen workshop, and that will be starting January 19th on Tuesdays for 3 weeks. It will be Tuesday evenings, 8:30 Israel time, and it will be a course that will go through, we'll have a whole meal and menu planning activity and workshop on how to do that and to shop for that, and how you could shop once a week and have all your groceries fresh and ready, and that's just such a big help, and it saves you lots of money, because every time you go into a grocery store, even if you go in for one thing, you're going to spend money. Last week, I went in to get peppers. 2 peppers, I spent 140 shekel. Because when you go into a store, you end up spending more. So if you go into one store and get everything you need, you spend a lot less. So I will teach you, there will be a workshop on menu planning and once a week shopping. And also, There will be a whole section on Shabbat, you know, easy Shabbat stuff, and challah and soup and some quick Shabbat meals. There will also be a section on desserts as well as gluten-free desserts. And we're also going to have a section in those 3 weeks for like 5 ingredient dinners or less. Okay, so really sign up, join me. There's an early bird, I think, if you sign up before the 10th of January. I'm almost sure that's the date. I'll post the flyer after this. But we're going to be having that workshop starting January 19th. So tell your friends. I'll after this video, I will post the flyer for that. And let me just get a spoon. Sorry, a spoon for the potatoes. So this is really, a drop of oil in the potatoes. Okay, really very, very little. And I'm just going to add some salt. I'm going to use regular salt here. Yeah, I'm not great with measuring, but I would tell you probably around a teaspoon or so. All right, and I'm going to just also put in a drop of black pepper as well. All right, now as it's going, if you need to drop more oil into again, it's not fried, it's sauteed, and so it's a lot healthier than when you make French fries, and yet it has that same, you know, yummy flavor. And so this is going to just sit on the stove on low, and I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to cover it not fully, like almost. There's a little bit air coming through. Meanwhile, going back to our shawarma chicken, we've got a lot. The onions are really getting nice and caramelized here. Okay, so we're going to give it another 2 minutes. Sorry, you can't see me. And what are we going to add into the shawarma chicken? So we have the chicken breasts already cubed in a bowl, and there's 3 more ingredients. We already put in the salt and pepper, 3 more ingredients, which is turmeric, cumin, and paprika. I don't put in paprika because of my allergies, but go ahead, put in paprika, and it's great, and it gives it even more color. Are we okay? Yeah. Froze for a second. Sorry about that. All right. So you actually put the spices in before you add the chicken so that the onions really get all the flavor. And then when you mix it all together with the chicken, the shawarma chicken really gets that delicious flavor. So we're going to let this go another minute. And in the meantime, just so you know, again, preparing this took, my husband did the onions, thank you so much. But as far as cutting the chicken and the potatoes, it was really under 5 minutes. A few tips about when you're cutting or chopping. Sit down. You don't need to stand when you're cutting or chopping, okay? So this way your feet aren't exhausted, and you can actually sit down if you want. Once a week or even every other day, you bring all your vegetables and whatever, and you want to get chopped, and you just put on Netflix or whatever, or watch me live or something, and just sit there with all your chopping and sit there and chop, because it really could be very relaxing, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it could be very therapeutic as well. Actually, the trick to enjoying a task is believing that it's good for you. I used to hate washing dishes. I still don't love doing it, but I really, really had an issue with it. And then a friend of mine said to me, washing dishes is very therapeutic. I'm like, you're right. She's like, no, the smell of the soap, the warm water, it's relaxing. I'm like, please. But after she said that, the next few times I washed dishes, I kept thinking, yeah, therapy, right. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of therapeutic. So then after a while now it's like, okay, putting on some music, washing my dishes. It looks like it's going to take an hour, and it usually takes 5 to 10 minutes, even if it's like 2 sinkfuls. So it's all in the frame of mind. If you see chopping as something that's going to relax you and something that's going to give you, something to sit down for, and you could say, oh, I'm busy, I'm sitting, I'm chopping vegetables. Take that time, bring your vegetables all in a bowl to the table, have a little garbage bag or a shopping bag to put all the peels and stuff in, and just sit, relax, and chop. Okay, now back to our shawarma chicken here. So it's really looking good, okay, as you can see. And I'm going to now add in the spices. So it is 1 tablespoon of turmeric, and I just kind of throw it in there, and a tablespoon of ground cumin, and it would also be a tablespoon of paprika. You mix that up and let that saute with the onions. Oh, look at those onions now. All right, for 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more. I love that color. And let's see. And there we go. And now the color of the onions is reflecting the spices we put in. And when we add in the chicken to it, it's going to really give it a great burst of flavor. All right, so in the meantime, I'm just gonna check on our potatoes here. They're taking their time. Here, I'll show you that. All right, those are our potatoes being sauteed. And again, it's just a little bit of olive oil, and they're gonna cook and taste delicious. You know what, I am gonna add one more thing. I am going to add in some minced onion, because that really will give it a burst, okay, and it'll go well with the shawarma. So I'm going to add in a little bit of onion flakes, minced onion, and I'm going to recover that again. It's on low, it's cooking, and now we are ready to add in the chicken to the shawarma. Here we go, and we add that in, and I will lower the camera so you could see what I'm doing. And we've got, look at that color, and look at that, and it's all sizzling. And we want to mix it up for a good minute, okay, to make sure we get that, to make sure we get the onions and the flavor throughout the whole, you know, whole batch of chicken that's here. I used a kilo, all right, and the onions really sauteed nicely and browned, which is good, but not burnt. And now I'm going to show you how it looks. Whoa. Onion fell on the fire. That's fun. And here we go. So that's how it's looking. And we're going to let this go for around 10 to 15 minutes. If you made the pieces larger, you might need 20, but you mix it over the next 10 minutes. I'm going to mix that a lot. I'm going to lower the flame now, and I'm going to cover it, fully covered. Okay, so because I really want it to cook, I want to make sure the chicken cooks all the way through. Hey, Aura, hey, Andy. What time is dinner, Lisa? Well, what time? We usually eat around 5:30, 6 o'clock. All right, so that's about it. We've got our potatoes going, and we've got the chicken going. And while this is cooking, because I have got at least 10 minutes, I'll mix everything every like 3 or 4 minutes just to get it going. While I'm doing that, though, I'm going to chop up my Israeli salad, and I'm going to get that ready, and we'll have the pita and the tahina, and dinner is done on my stove because the oven broke. So please God, that will get fixed very soon, and we'll hopefully be able to get into baking stuff next week. In the meantime, thank you all for joining in the kitchen with Henny. I am looking forward to sharing more ideas with you, and I will post the flyer about my workshop that's coming up January 19th for 3 weeks. Please spread it around. Sign up for the early bird. Save 20 shekel. And it's going to be 8:30 at night, so if you're in the States, you can also join us. It'll be, 1:30 in the afternoon if you're around. And we really hope to see you. And don't forget to follow and like my page. Everybody have a great day and a good week. Thank you so much for joining.